Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video. We are going to be doing, well, I do this all the time. I am going to be doing for you guys the makeup I would own if I wasn't a YouTuber or beauty guru. I did have some requests on Instagram from you guys to do this, and I've seen quite a few of these videos so far. I think Jamie Page was the first one to do this recent trend of these videos, but I know this video has gone around before. I've seen it before, but I love the idea behind this video. I've loved seeing people's different takes on this, and everybody seems to have their own kind of spin or different rules on this, so we're going to be doing it today with, of course, my own spin. And if you guys watch my other tag videos, I'm a rule breaker. I'm a rebel, so of course I'm going to be breaking some rules today, but that's alright. But I'm very excited about this one. I will link some of the videos that I've watched down below. If you guys have done this video, if you have other people that have done it, please let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to see them and check them out. Before we get into it, welcome to those of you that are new to my channel. Hope that you enjoy this video. Of course, if you do, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And with that said, let's get into it. So I mentioned there's a couple different takes on this video, and I loved how Allie Glines did hers. She mentioned she's going to do two different videos, a drugstore, which she already posted, and a high-end version. I'm going to do a drugstore version today because if I am truly honest, if I was not a YouTuber, I would probably almost never buy high-end makeup. That's just kind of how I roll. I actually don't buy that much high-end makeup as it is. I'm just more comfortable in the drugstore and in the drugstore price range. But if you guys want to see a high-end version of this, of course, let me know. I would be happy to do it. I do have some answers. I might not have as many, but I do have some answers for the high-end version as well. So let me know down below. But today we're going to be doing the drugstore version. And if you watched Jamie's video, she broke it down into 4 different categories: complexion, eyes, lips, and cheeks. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now, Jamie picked out 5 different things from each category, which I'm going to try and stick within that role. I do have a couple of exceptions, as of course I do. I always have exceptions to these games. So for complexion, I picked 4 things. I picked 4 instead of 5 because I'm going to bump that number 5 spot down to the eye category so I can pick an extra eyeshadow palette. But I would pick 2 foundations, and the first one is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. This is my very favorite, more glowy foundation. I just love this one for me. The color match is really great for me, which I know their color range is not huge, so I know depending on what your skin tone is, you may or may not be able to find your perfect shade. I use the shade Nude L3, which seems to work perfectly for me pretty much all year round, which is another amazing thing about this foundation. I love the way this foundation looks on my skin. It is very hydrating, very glowy, but it lasts a decent amount of time on me. It just looks very natural on my skin, which is what I love so much about it. One of my favorites still. I've been using this for a couple of years now, and so far, I mean, a couple things have come close. The Misha BB Cream, the Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation, they have come very close, but this one I think still is my top one. But for those times when I need something a little bit more long wearing, nothing beats, in my opinion, the L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation. Love this stuff. It looks really nice on the skin. It isn't quite as glowy, it's not quite as hydrating, but it's also not drying as long as my skin is well prepped and I have a good moisturizer underneath. It lasts really well on my skin. It does not transfer. The shade match is pretty good for me. I have it in the shade 425 Linen. It's also a really good mixing foundation. I love mixing foundations, but if I want to get another foundation to have just a little bit more wear time, I do like to mix this one in. I think it's just a great one all around. It is very, very liquidy and lightweight, which is why I think it works really well on me, despite the fact that I don't typically like more mattifying or long wearing foundations because they tend to feel heavy. But because this one is so thin, it is very buildable and it works really well for even my dry skin. So this would be my second pick. Concealer. This one was easy. I've been talking about this concealer like crazy lately, and it would be the Revlon Candid Concealer. I think I said I can't say enough good things about this concealer in my last video, but I'm gonna say it again. I can't say enough good things about this concealer. It's so good. I've already picked up a backup because I have this fear of my favorite things being discontinued. Does anybody else have that fear? And this is one of those things that I'm like worried about because sometimes my drugstore will run out of this and not restock it for months and months. So they did recently restock. I picked up a couple of extras because this is a concealer that I feel like I can't live without. I've been using it literally every day for the last 3 weeks at least, and I've been using it almost every day for the last month and a half. It's just so good. I can't think of anything bad to say about this concealer. It's the perfect coverage for me. It's a very good high medium coverage. It's not cakey though. It's hydrating without creasing, and it works for anywhere that I put it. It works on my blemishes. It works on my hyperpigmentation. I mean, it works okay on my hyperpigmentation. Nothing really covers hyperpigmentation for me. This is for me my perfect concealer, and I'm comparing this to a lot of drugstore concealers that I really like. I like the Milani one. I like the CoverGirl ones. I really like the Maybelline Age Rewind. I like the Maybelline Fit Me. I love the e.l.f. concealers, but this beats them all. The last one that I'm going with for the complexion category might be a little surprising to you guys. You know that I'm not a powder lover, but I couldn't live without my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I use this thing all the time. Maybe not to set my face completely, but I do like to selectively set some areas, especially if it's like the summertime. I'm going to be outside. I know I might be a little bit sweaty and I want my makeup to stay in place. This is a really great, super thin powder. I also use this every day to set my eyelids down, whether I'm using a primer or a concealer. So I couldn't live without it. I use it every day. I have 2 of these. They both have pan on them, and it's one of the only powders, it is the only powder I think that I will ever repurchase multiple times. So had to have this one in there as well. Next up, the cheek category. I love my cheek products. I love highlight. I love bronzer. I love blush. So this one was really, really tricky. Almost as hard as the eye category. But for a bronzer, I knew I had to have both a cream bronzer and a regular bronzer. For the cream bronzer, I went with the Wet n Wild Contour Stick. I would pick the shade Where's Walnut because I do like the shade a little bit more than Oaks on You. Oaks on You is just a little bit too warm for me. This is still a warm bronzer, but it's not quite as warm, and I actually kind of like that I can go really light-handed with this one because I feel like it makes it look a little bit more natural. I love using this thing alone sometimes. I am wearing it today, and I often like wearing this paired with another bronzer, especially if I want like a bronzed look and I want that bronzer to last all day long. I feel like putting a little bit of this underneath your regular bronzer just ensures that you have that bronzy look all day long. So that would be the one I would pick. It is super affordable. I have talked about it for years on my channel. It is such a good one. It is kind of what sold me on trying out cream bronzers in general and just cream products on the cheeks in general, which I've really been into lately. Really great product. I feel like it's kind of an underrated great product. But of course I had to have a powder bronzer as well, and the one I had to go with is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Light Bronze. I actually love this shade for me because it is so buildable. I can really get my brush in there and just go ham on this thing and still not get too much bronzer on my cheeks. It's the perfect shade for me whether I'm very, very fair in the winter, a little bit more tan in the summertime. The formula is amazing. It's very easy to work with. It has the most very, very subtle sheen to it, which I absolutely love, and the smell. I couldn't live without this smell. That might be the biggest reason I picked this because I am just such a fan of the smell of these. It smells like vacation, which who doesn't want to smell vacation no matter what time of year it is. For my highlighter, this one was also very, very easy. I would go with the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. I know if I was not doing YouTube, this would be the highlighter I would live for because a couple of reasons. I feel like I've gotten more into more intense highlighters as I've tried more and kind of become accustomed to a really nice glowy highlight. But for everyday life, this is the kind of highlight that I use most of the time. It's very, very subtle, but it's also buildable. It's the perfect shade for me personally, whether it's the middle of winter or the middle of summer. This very used and abused highlighter has appeared in almost any year-end favorites video, almost any like ranking my top whatever makeup products video that I've ever done because it is just such a good one. I feel like for a drugstore highlighter, this formula reminds me of something much, much more high-end. It's just really, really great. I know a lot of you guys love it as well. I have 2 spots left, so I had to go with 2 different blushes. The first one would be this one right here. This is from Essence. This is the blush in the shade Befitting. Such a beautiful blush. This is the kind of blush that I love reaching for when I don't want to have to think about what's going to match what, because I feel like this color goes with absolutely anything. I absolutely love the formula of these. They are kind of a matte formula that has just a very, I'd say very soft sheen to it. I know they don't look like much when they're swatched, but on the cheeks, you guys, these are amazing. I've been a longtime fan of Essence blushes. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about them. I love every shade that I have of these so far. The formula is great, and the price, $2.99. I mean, you cannot beat that price. So that would be kind of my pink tone neutral blush, but I'd have to have something that had a little bit more peach to it. This was so tricky. I initially wanted to go with the Milani Luminoso blush, but I don't feel like I could live without this very amazing liquid blush that I've been talking about for a couple of months now. This is the Juicy Pang blusher. I have it in the shade Guava. Now this isn't quite a peach blush. I'm going to swatch it for you guys right here. I'm sorry, I just got done doing another video. My hands are swatched to the heavens. So here's the swatch right here. I know it does look quite pink, but when I put this on my cheeks, it has like a golden kind of subtle sheen to it that makes it very nice and warm for a cheek color. And I just love the texture of this more than anything. I am still waiting to pick up more shades of this because I just love these so much. And they actually have really good lasting power. I haven't tried a formula out there like this. I just think it's incredible and I would definitely want that one. So we're going to save the eye category for last and move into lips. So the first of the 5 lip products I would pick is a lip liner. This one is from Milani. I would go with this one. It is the shade 04 All Natural. I've been talking a lot about these lip liners on my channel for a long time. They're one of my favorites from the drugstore. I do really like the Essence ones because I think they last a little bit longer, but I don't like their color range quite as much. This one right here is the shade Because Duh, which I've talked about a lot, but it's a very warm shade. It wouldn't work if I wanted to do a more kind of pink toned nude lip. I would need something a little bit more neutral, and this color is perfect for that. So let me go ahead and swatch this color for you guys. I'm sorry, I can't get this eyeshadow off my wrist. So there it is right there. This is a perfect nude color for me personally. It's just a very good, slightly deeper tone than my actual lips. In fact, let's go ahead and put a little bit on. Right now, I feel like my lips look a little bit dead. As you can see, it's just a little bit darker than my natural lip color, and I can use this lip liner whether I'm doing something a little bit warm and more kind of peach or brown toned, or something a little bit more pink and cool toned. It goes with pretty much anything. It's not too light, it's not too dark. It's also the perfect color if I want to just put a gloss on top. I love it. They're super affordable. I think you can get these for like $3 at Walmart or Target, at Walgreens. And of all the more nude colors they have, this one is definitely my favorite. So next I would need 2 nude lip colors, and I'd start with this one right here. This is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipstick in the color Said Nudes. You guys, I have not used this stuff for a while, but I did put it on again today as I was going through things, and I was reminded of why I love this thing so much. It is such a good kind of natural brown nude shade, but it's not too brown, it's also not too pink, it's not too gray. It's just a perfect nude shade for me when I really want that slightly warmer nudish lip color. So there it is swatched on the back of my hand. As you can see, I have it on my lips right now. What I love so much about this is it's kind of a gloss that has a little bit more pigment to it. So this is the type of product that you could throw in your purse, you could put it on while you're driving, not even looking in the mirror, and you know that your lips are going to look great. It's just a really good, easy, travel-friendly product. The packaging for Wet n Wild is really amazing. I've been very impressed with this. I mean, I've had this for over 6 months now. It's been in my purse many, many times, and I've not had any issues with the packaging. It actually reminds me quite a bit of the Dose of Colors packaging. I love this stuff. I think it's amazing. If you haven't tried this out yet, a lot of people have talked about it on YouTube, but it's been a little while, so if you haven't tried this yet, if you can still find it in your drugstore and you like this kind of slightly lighter, warm nude lip, this is amazing. But I would also need a pink toned lip, and I am in love with these lipsticks right here. Also from Wet n Wild, ironically. This one is in the color Mad for Mauve. I think these are called their Mega Last High Shine lip color. This is such a perfect cooler pink for me. It's kind of the color of my lips, but a little bit cooler. I would call both of these those kind of my lips but better shades. This one being a little bit warmer, this one a little bit cooler, which is perfect for every day. I feel like these 2 colors would go with pretty much any look that I was creating. So I would just pick one gloss, and it would be this right here. This is the NYX Butter Gloss, and I think I would go with the shade Creme Brulee. This is a lighter nude gloss for me, but it's quite peach, and what I love about this one, especially if I have a deeper lip liner like this down here, is it pairs beautifully on top of a deeper lip liner. I love the NYX glosses. I almost picked the shade Tiramisu, but I actually reached for this one more than I reached for Tiramisu because that one's just a little bit too pink for every look. This one's a little bit more kind of peach and natural looking, and it's definitely one of my most used, so I would have to pick that one. For my 5th pick, I decided to go with a red lipstick because despite the fact that I don't wear bold red lips super often, I do occasionally love wearing a bold red lip, and I would go with this one right here. This is the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Mango Sorbet. I love this color. It is one of my favorites. I love a good orangey red, and when I'm wearing a red lip color, I like to wear a liquid lipstick because I just can't be bothered with worrying about if my red lipstick is on my teeth, and a liquid lipstick is the only way to ensure that that doesn't happen. You can see there is quite a bit of orange in this color. It's so beautiful. I love this especially in the summertime because it's such a bright, fun, vibrant color. It really brightens up your complexion, and whenever I wear this color, I always get compliments on it. These are a little bit hard to find now. You can still find these on Jordana's website. I haven't seen these in my drugstore recently. In fact, I haven't been to Walgreens for a while. I don't know if they still carry Jordana in my Walgreens, but I did recently check, and you can still buy these on the Jordana website. So there they are right there. Those would be my 5 lip picks. Last category, eyes. Dun, 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 dun. This one was hard. It was very, very hard. But the first one is very obvious. I'm sure to anyone that watches my videos, I would have to have the Wet n Wild Kohl Pencil in the color Simma Brown now. This actually is one of the few products that I've been using long before I started my YouTube channel. I love it. I use it almost every day. I use it in almost every video. It's an absolute essential for me. Super affordable, 99 cents. It's a very basic, simple pencil, but I love it. I love the color of this. It's a very, very rich, almost black brown, which is perfect for me. It gives me depth without being too harsh. It's very easy to use, very easy to sharpen. And I couldn't live without this thing. But I would also want a gel eyeliner because occasionally I do like to use a gel liner when I really want a precise wing. And I would go with the Maybelline Eye Studio Black Gel Liner. This is a great gel liner from the drugstore. It lasts all day on me. It's nice and black. It's very affordable. And that's really all I need in a gel liner. And although I don't get a ton of use out of this because I just find the pencil liner to be so much quicker and easier for me, there are certain looks that really require a black wing liner, and this is just a great way to get it. Next, of course, I would have to pick a mascara, and if I could only pick one mascara, I would need it to be something that's very, very long wearing. I've said this in I think I've said this many times on my videos, but I spend a lot of time outdoors in the spring and summer. My kids play sports. It's often windy here, and my eyes water like crazy when I am out watching sports, so I need a mascara that's going to be very budge proof. And my very favorite for that is the Essence Volume Stylist. So the reason I love this over just any other waterproof mascara, I actually don't like using waterproof mascara every day, but this is like a hybrid waterproof mascara. I kind of explain it like this. When I wear a traditional waterproof mascara, when I go and wash my face at night, because most of the time I don't double cleanse. I'm just too lazy to do that. That's just the honest truth. But if I have a waterproof mascara on, soap and water is not going to even touch that mascara. It's not going to budge at all, and I don't want my eyelashes to break off overnight by having this really hardened, crusty mascara on them all night long. But this mascara is very unique because it is still difficult to remove. This is not going to remove easily with soap and water, but most of it does still come off with soap and water at the end of the day as long as I use really nice warm water. But somehow, no matter how much my eyes water, this still holds up as good as any waterproof mascara that I've tried. So I feel like it's the perfect middle ground. It's not so hard on my eyelashes as a traditional waterproof mascara, but it doesn't smudge or flake on me. So for brow products, I'm going to follow suit to Jamie because she picked 2 for 1 slot, and I'm going to do the same thing because I need an extra slot for an eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to pick a gel and a pencil, and I'd have to pick these 2 right here. This is the Ulta Ultra Slim Brow Pencil in the color Ash Taupe, my very, very favorite, and then the e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel. I do really like e.l.f.'s brow pencil. I almost picked that one because it is more affordable, but I like this one a little bit better when I want a little bit more precision. I still find this to go on really quickly, not quite as quickly as the e.l.f. one, but it does give me better, more precise looking brows. Love the formula of it. It lasts on me all day long. The color is perfect. As far as brow gels go, I would pick the e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel. I really love this brow gel. I've tried a lot of other drugstore brow gels and I like them, but I think what I've discovered is I actually prefer something that's a little bit more wet than something that's more of like a waxy pomade, like say the ColourPop one or the Essence one. Those ones leave your brows a little bit more soft and fluffy, but I like something that's a little bit more stiff. I don't know why that is. I feel like I'm in the minority there. I think most people like the more soft hold, fluffy brow products, but I just love this one. I tend to reach for it more. It's super affordable and it's also very, very easy to get your hands on. I can find this at both Target and Walmart. I just think it's a great basic eyebrow gel, and because of its price, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I just know that this would be something that I would happily pick up every month or 2 because it is so cheap. So for my final pick, I'm actually going to pick 2 palettes, which technically puts me at 6 products in the eye category, but because I didn't officially pick a primer, I'm going to give myself a pass. I hope that doesn't disqualify me from making YouTube videos, but this is going to surprise you guys. The 2 palettes, I went through everything and I couldn't get this palette out of my mind. It's a newer palette to me, but I loved it so much, especially in combination with this other one. These are the palettes I would pick. I would pick the Alter Ego Sahara palette and the Juvia's Place Magic Mini palette. I really hate to do this because you guys know how much I love all of my eyeshadow palettes, but I was just so completely impressed with this palette. I love the formula of it. It's amazing, but more than anything, this is just the, for me, perfect neutral palette. You get some cool tone grays in here, some cool tone browns, also some warm tone browns, even some kind of peach shades in here, and some beautiful shimmers. If you didn't see my video where I reviewed Alter Ego Cosmetics, I will link it right here for you guys. I was absolutely floored by this palette. I have used it many times since doing that video, which was only like a week ago. I just can't get enough of it. I love the packaging. The formula is amazing. The colors are perfect in every way. If you are not aware, this is meant to dupe the Natasha Denona Biba palette, but it's much more affordable. And I had a lot of mixed thoughts from you guys in the comment section of that video. Some of you guys were absolutely raving about Alter Ego's eyeshadows, and then some of you had issues with them completely copying basically Natasha Denona's shadows. And I really do get that, but I also understand that there are a lot of people out there that could not ever afford to buy a $129 palette. I mean, that's just crazy. Even for those of us that might be able to afford it, seems like it's crazy. And as someone that's very budget conscious, I really appreciate saving money on palettes. So I'm a big fan of this one. I understand now why so many people have raved about that Biba palette as being like the ultimate neutral palette. I get it, because I feel like this really is the perfect neutral color story. It's just amazing. But I also love to play with color sometimes, and I feel like this Magic Mini palette is just such a fun palette. I almost picked the Nomad palette, but that palette I consider a neutral palette as well, and I feel like this is a better neutral palette. I mean, if we're being perfectly honest, if I didn't do YouTube, but I still liked makeup and was watching makeup videos, I just know that I would have more than 2 palettes, so I would also have that Nomad palette. But for the purpose of this video, if I had to just pick 2, I would pick these 2 because I just feel like they pair so beautifully together. This palette alone is a really fun, colorful palette to play with, but if you pair this with a neutral palette, it unlocks like next level power in this palette, because that's how I like to play with color, generally speaking. I love a pop of color either in the crease or just a pop of shimmery color on the lid paired with other neutrals. It makes color just a little bit more approachable for someone that is not into wearing rainbow colors on their eyes. So these are the 2 I would go with. Alright you guys, and that is it for the makeup I would own if I wasn't a YouTuber. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear from you guys. Even if you are not a YouTuber, let me know which category you would have the hardest time narrowing down. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you are all doing well. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I hope that you'll do that before you leave. And that's it for today. Thanks again. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. That was a joke. I don't know. I feel like people are really sensitive these days. Shouldn't say things like that, Mandy. Nothing against tie-dye. I actually love this t-shirt. It's a little loud for a YouTube video, but I love it. Notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload it. Oh, dang, I almost had it. I mean, if I never watched YouTube videos or did YouTube videos, I probably wouldn't have any makeup. Say that I did a video called Makeup I Would Own If I Never Watched a YouTube Beauty Video, I can tell you right now what it would be. It would be one thing. It would be a mascara, and it would probably be Great Lash Mascara, because that's what 17 magazine told me to buy back in 1999. Oh, I wish I was on vacation right now. Beach. Eating Gabe. Wild Kohl eyeliner pencil. Oh, come on, Mandy, what is your problem?